State of Illinois.
All right, go.
We'll do 1 minute to sit down.
I am.
All right. Let's call our meeting in order, Wednesday, January 10th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Roll call, please.
Christy Richardson.
Here.
Dan Cheek.
Here.
Jeff Goings. Don Sadler.
Here.
Dave Kurlinkus.
Here.
Owen Costanza.
Here.
Betsy Straw. Here. Ken Garrett. Karina Boyd.
All right, no phone participation tonight, it looks like. Okay. Stand for Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No phone participation. Do we got a motion to approve tonight's agenda? A motion by Jeff, second by Owen. Those in favor?
Aye.
Sounds like, those against. Tonight's agenda is approved. We got any public comment here?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Moving on to new business, we got a presentation by Heather Wick of Growth Dimensions. Come on up, Heather, or
Make sure this is that. Nope.
is
There
that
we
on?
go. Is it working okay? It just feels like it's falling
Give it a
down.
tap.
Tap it. I might have muted it.
Is that better?
I think I hear you.
Okay. It just keeps falling down. I think that's the problem.
I've done one or two.
Karina, what mic do you have, like you 1 or 2?
Do you have one or two?
Your mic number? Sorry.
Thank you.
Speaking spot. It's not tic-tac-toe.
Thank you. Try speaking into it, Heather.
Okay. Is that better?
I heard you there.
Okay. Pam, I'm just going to need one. Okay, so I know you've probably got the rundown from Christy on some of this stuff, but we had started talking back in probably July about trying to put something together specifically for Poplar Grove. So when you're talking to businesses or potential residents even, right, that there's something that you can hand them to say, here's a synopsis of Poplar Grove. This is us. So just wanted to go through it quickly, answer any questions that you might have, and then I know this is kind of the first time that you're seeing this version. So if you have any feedback on it, give it to me today or to Christy, or send it just to me just via email, give me a call, and then just kind of happy to talk through it. So this is the first draft that we're presenting to you. We've had a few drafts, and then Christy's been really instrumental in coming to meet and just really focusing on what she feels is going to be really beneficial for the council and then again for the village, trustees in the village. So the first thing that we come to is the welcome. And really what we want to do when somebody's looking at this is just really create this quality of life type piece too. As businesses come in, they do look, are my employees going to have a good quality of life? So we just have a quick welcome, attractions, and then recreation that we came up with. There's always others that, of course, we can add. But again, first draft, we can put more in, take some out, whichever you guys want to do. And the next thing that we go into is just talking about the convenient location that Poplar Grove has. So located on 173 and 76, you get a lot of traffic, truck routes, just residents driving through, visitors coming through, people as they are going to work, so commuters. So we want to make sure that we're showing them that it's a convenient location and you have a significant daily traffic count that comes through as well. And I know Pam could probably speak to some of this stuff too, but she's kind of letting me roll. But when people are looking, or businesses are looking to come here, they want to make sure that you're obviously, one, have the traffic that's going to meet it, And then second, you have the people that they want in the area. So as we look to the next page, we have the village profile. So we're seeing how many people are actually in the village. We're looking at what's their income. So those are just some demographics that we want to make sure that we show. And again, this is kind of case in point for any employees that a business may have. You know, what's the housing like? What is, you know, what are people making? So we just want to make sure that we highlight that information as well. Next, this part is really a convenience sake, is for the utilities, because people as they come here, especially residents, are wondering what utilities do you have, who are the providers, do you have what I need, and then of course same with businesses. We move into more of the business resources. So this is kind of the crux of what we want to get in front of aspiring entrepreneurs, small businesses, is what resources are available to them if they're going to start or grow a business. So people can look at this page, whether they're residents here or possible residents here, or maybe they're a resident from outside of the village and they just really like this spot and want to come here. So this will list out any resources we can give them to help them start that business. We also have businesses that you know, need a brick and mortar. So we, of course, want to make sure that we're giving them the opportunity to look at any sites and buildings that are available within Poplar Grove. So we are linking them back to Growth Dimensions website so they can go ahead and look at those properties. And then also our contact information at Growth Dimensions so we can go ahead and assist them with any properties that they may have. And then also make sure that we make the connections with the village. The next thing we're going to look at is just the public school system. This is the part that might need tweaking. I looked at the boundaries, and I think I caught the schools that were in there. But if there's any that I missed, just let me know. What's that? Okay. Do they go to? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so Manchester's one that we could add then, so we missed that one.
Same with Lincoln and Seth.
Okay, I wondered about those.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. I'm gonna write that down just
But I don't
real
think any
quick.
of our,
Gibbons 200.
yeah, the two that are in residence go
Oh, I
there.
got you.
I know Lincoln and Seth, they do.
Are there, okay. So,
We can take notes.
yeah. I'll write these down and then, yeah. So one of the key things when businesses also are coming to the area is they're looking to see what your education system is, what is your kind of path for your students. So the public school, we have two really great school systems, so I'm always proud to talk about both of them. But it also then ties into what higher education is here. Are there places for trades, for skilled trades? You know, are there professional universities? And of course, we have that in the area. The main thing right here in Boone County is the ATC for RBC. So that's a huge thing to highlight with any businesses and residents that are coming into the area. The business directory, which is on the next page, this one's more in process, and I know that's going to be more digital. So not sure if we're going to end up leaving that within this resource guide or not. It might be something that we end up linking back to the website once there's a business directory for the village. So, and it's going to change often, so it might just be a lot to take care of on a document, where it might just be easier if it's updated on the site, that we're not constantly changing the document. At least we hope we have to change the document a lot, right, for for business names and businesses coming. And then finally, last page, or the back cover, is just going to be Village Hall information. So, so this is something, again, that we wanted to make sure they started working on. I know it's going to be with your strategic plan that you're doing, you're really going to be focusing on drawing in kind of the residents and businesses, which is ultimately what kind of prompted this. And I don't want to speak out of turn either, so I wasn't sure if Christy had anything to add I know you've had conversations before, but
Yeah, I mean, the initial intent is what we had talked about before I'd started, which was just be able to draft a piece that, we could use, Growth Dimensions could use, in efforts to highlight our community in a way that would be attractive. So going forward, we can, be ahead of some economic development, and I just don't think it's a piece too that we can use for, that can be sent digitally. It does not necessarily have to be a printed publication. So it's really a nice opportunity. We can give it to our existing businesses, our existing property owners and landowners who are trying to, sell their properties or have their properties rented out. And then if we decide at some point that there's a specific niche or industry that we want to focus on, we can tailor that. Heather and I have already talked about being able to. So I think it's just a good piece to have, so.
yeah. I know we talked about, kind of attract those retail type places as well into the village. And actually, one thing that I don't know if we went into or not, I don't think we went into, Christy, when I was having the conversation with Pam today, is looking at those pieces of land that maybe aren't in the village yet, but may have the potential to have to annex in. Brain fart there. To annex in. So that might be something to look at down the line, to say, there's a process to annex or something. Not that that needs to be in here right now, but just kind of thinking down the road if there's some larger projects that at any point, within, again, your plans that you want to see, then there's always the ability to revamp and revise to meet what your guys' strategic plan is going to be.
Only thing I would suggest, just because we get a lot of phone calls, is maybe putting in the map of what's inside village limits, because we do have like Candlewick where people will move in there and then they'll be like, I need my water, and it's like, no, you're not in the village, and then they get upset. So maybe just,
The actual footprint.
the actual footprint, so they know what subdivisions when they're looking for houses.
Yeah, because I know the Candlewick one kind of gets a little bit,
Yeah.
and that's where I was trying to figure out the schools, who was going to
Yeah.
go where
Yeah.
specifically there. So.
Savannah Oaks is the only part that's actually,
Yeah, those 4 houses that,
5 houses there.
yeah.
Okay.
So Heather, the chamber used to put a book together. Are those by the wayside now? Because we used to get sponsorships and the ads in them.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of those
they-
in a long time.
They do they were doing those every other year. They would do the map and then the book. But I don't know.
I'm thinking
the
that
book-
would be cool to get, the local bars used to put business
Oh,
names
yeah.
on the glasses. But if we, were able to get the local bars or local businesses,
Yeah.
to buy an ad and do some 4-color ones, that'd be
It's-
cool.
It's funny, I actually had that thought today, because there's a blank page there, or there would probably be a blank page. Yeah.
I mean, Northwest Quarterly still does, we're very well selling, or they give the magazine away, they sell the ads. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I think the thing would be like, if you saw the ad, then, where does, the money would go back to you guys, but
Well,
then-
for the cost of the printing, I think that's
Exactly.
normally, it's a chamber didn't make
Yeah.
any money off of that.
Right,
But
right. Yeah, because these
Just
could
thought, I
be-
thought it'd be cool in there. I mean,
Yeah, yep,
if print is still a thing, I don't know.
definitely still a thing. So, like you said, when you're walking into a retail establishment, right, and or a doctor's office,
Yeah.
and you have to sit down and pick up something to read. Well, I still station with Pam on some things too. She had some really great suggestions. But I think we're so close. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm excited for it.
yeah, yeah. It's nice just to have something of your own. So,
I think thank you for getting all the guys and stepping up.
Thanks, Heather.
yeah. So any questions? Otherwise, like I said, I'm a call or an email away. So feel free to contact me, okay? All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Heather.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Heather.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item number 2, do we have a motion to discuss pyrotechnical FX firework proposal for Neighbors Night, June 8th, 2024?
Move to discuss Pyrotechnics FX firework proposal.
Motion by Owen.
Second.
And second by Dan. Did we have a quote in the packet here?
that's, every year we get that.
Yes, beautiful.
Okay, there's your 15. Option B, 15. Option C, 15 minute. So they're all 15 minutes, just which one you want.
So what do we,
Oh, so C has got less? I
Yeah,
know
it's
C.
the, it's the number of shells. If you look at the number of shells on the side,
Yeah,
that's the difference.
and then what was option A again? Oh, that's the big
Yeah,
one.
it just has a ton more shells.
Gotcha, okay.
So the price increase $2,000.
Yeah.
So we're same amount of shells as last year?
I did not look at the number of shells last year.
I think the last 2 years we did the middle.
Yeah. That's only to discuss, there's no action.
You can get a kind of a sense.
Yeah, we had a nice play last year, so I
Just,
guess we go with the same as the middle.
how many minutes was the middle one again?
They're
all
all
the same.
15 minutes.
Oh, they're all 15
Yeah.
minutes.
It just basically, do you want 815 1
Gotcha.
inch versus 940 versus,
I see, more activity.
yeah.
More lights, more booms. And how, oh, it was up, it went up $2,000 since last year, huh? Okay.
Mm-mm, it was 15.
15?
Yeah, I looked up the minute.
Everything.
Okay,
Any comment?
staff is saying that, option B is more than what we got last year.
Oh, in terms
So,
of shells.
option C is what we had, was our middle of the road package last year.
And
They
if the-
upped the number of,
If the time is the same, I mean, is anybody really gonna,
And
it's 15 minutes.
last,
Longer than 15 minutes last year.
yeah,
it was, we've always done 15 minutes.
No, but I mean, I think their show went longer than 15 minutes.
it was a very nice display and it seemed long.
Yeah.
So to have
So-
more shells than we did last year seems not necessary.
So C? C? Everyone okay with C?
Yep.
C? All right.
Sounds
We'll
fair to
have
me.
option.
Owen, Betsy?
Yeah, I said, sorry, you couldn't hear me shake my head.
Shake it a little louder.
Yeah, I know, there's a little rattle in there.
Okay.
Just so we have a consensus from everyone. Owen, what'd you say?
I'm good.
All right. All right, moving on. Do we got a motion, to item number 3, do we have a motion to discuss and approve an RFP for a forensics audit?
Move to discuss and approve RFP for forensic audit.
Motion,
Second.
motion by Owen, second by Christie. Ready? I saw the final draft go out, and so that's basically what we're looking to approve.
For the, to go out. Yeah,
Yep.
if anybody has any changes, it's got your changes incorporated in there.
Yep. Anybody have any concerns or additions or subtractions or changes? Anything to focus on or? All right. Okay. Then I guess we take a roll call vote to approve the final draft.
Owen Costanza,
Yes.
Jeff Goings, Dan Cheek,
Yes.
Christy Richardson,
Yes.
Betsy Straw.
Yes.
Final draft is approved. Moving on to item number 4, do we have a motion to discuss and approve Resolution 2024-01, a resolution of the Village of Poplar Grove, Illinois, approving amended building permit fee schedule?
Move to discuss approve resolution 2024-1.
Motion by Dan,
Second.
second by Owen. I briefly looked like there was a couple of increases. I didn't notice if anything was added or changed.
I think this is
Is that all it was?
Well, there's the topography survey
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the
There was-
reinspection for the
There's a couple of things.
chickens, and then a public works.
Yes. David goes out and inspects our portion of the apron when you replace your driveway or any sidewalk squares. So that is what that is. Or one of his guys.
Did that go up?
We just had it on a different fee schedule. If you remember, about a year ago, we passed a different fee schedule, and builders were getting confused, so we just put everything on one fee schedule. Like the topography was on that engineering fee schedule, so we just decided to put everything on one.
Everything that's red was just moved over?
Yeah,
And then
and then adding the hens.
Permit is not required.
That is fully online, and the discounts are in there. We're fully online, it's on there. It's under building permits, it's not the easiest thing to find, but I posted a link to it earlier today.
All right.
And we had discussed putting a notice in the water bill, correct?
I was gonna, I forgot about that, Dan, but yeah, we were gonna put a notice in
What's
the
it
water bill
live?
to look at that and look at the schedules with the discounts. Can we put that on the next water billing, please?
Can you put that on the next water bill, please? I'm not in charge of water bills.
Okay.
That one is, but
Yeah. So just check out the FAQ on when you need a permit and the building fee schedule and discounts that have been added. I wouldn't put anything specific in the water billing, just maybe direct them there or tell them to call Village Hall. When in doubt, call Village Hall.
All right. Just out of curiosity, I haven't looked yet. So the links for this and that are on 2 different pages on our website, or?
It's a drop-down menu in the PDFs,
Yeah.
and it actually has a title to the, oh, she got it up right there. Oh, you just
Oh.
had it. It's under, it's not easy to find. It's under building permits.
our
Forms
community,
go, or you could go to
hold on.
One of them pages.
the
One of them.
business development, and
Business
go to
develop-
forms and permits. It's in there. Towards the bottom, there's a fee schedule, that's a resolution, blah, blah, blah. And then the bottom is when you don't need a permit there. Yeah.
And the fee schedule, is the fee schedule on this page
They
too?
took it down because we're revising it. So
Ah.
once we approve it, it should be back up. I had the same thing with the permit.
Thank you. All right, we then,
Wait, I did have a question. I did notice at
Yes.
the top, there was a top of growth, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What? Where? It's at the very top of the page.
Talk about the big payment.
The fee, on the fee schedule. It's on the fee schedule.
I don't know, Ken, what does that mean?
It's, I think it's just, I'm not sure why it's there. If it was a spacing, A, B, C, D, E, F, I don't know why that, right at the top.
Oh.
Why is all of that there? Village Top Grove, A, B, C?
No, right behind her.
Yeah, I don't know why that's
Look at
there.
top of the road.
Oh,
oh,
So it's missing
see footnotes?
H.
Or,
So that's how, okay. I don't know that I would have noted that was like the footnote.
We'll have to add H.
H and I. Yeah, and C footnotes. Yeah, people aren't gonna know what those are for. So,
Very observant.
Yeah, like here, like
All the
in
new
plan
ones
review,
have
this
dollar
one
signs.
has
Oh.
a dollar sign, it says $46 per discipline, $94, they don't, I just, whatever we decide is fine as long as it's consistent. So,
Makes sense.
oh, I did have one last question, sorry, I'm on a roll, I
Go ahead.
apologize. On the, with the chicken permits, where we've got the annual, so this says right now it's an 18-month, sunset clause on it, so,
Okay. Can I ask another,
Go
am I
ahead.
interrupting? No. I just want to ask, there's a hen permit and a coop permit. Would somebody have a coop without a hen, or a hen without a coop?
You cannot have the hen without the coop. Originally, the hen permit was the initial application. And if you recall, the original ordinance had approval from the adjoining neighbors that was removed. In my opinion, you don't need both. I think you can do it all under one permit. Saves people money, and it's just, we don't do two permits or anything else.
I was wondering.
Once you took that part out, I don't think it's necessary to do that.
So if you get the hen permit, you're most likely going to have a coop, and you're going to,
What are we gonna call it, a hen coop permit? So
For-
we submit everything all at once.
so it'll be $94 for that. Okay.
I have a question about the fee. So they're gonna pay $94 for that permit, plus a $25 administration fee?
It is included.
How did we come up with the price for this? I thought it would be around $20, $30. Well, it just seems kinda high to me. This is a pilot program.
So, let me just break down the fee.
Ken, can you use the mics? They can't hear you.
Sorry. I thought it was gonna be around $20, $30 total.
It was initially, it's $25. There's always a $25 application, okay? Every permit is issued here. Then we have to do a review. The review is $25. And then it requires an inspection, which is $30.
What,
There is then you take the plan review and the inspection add together. And you add 50% to it, that's 50% goes to the board.
16 or 15?
15%.
15. Why do we have to do a plan review for a group itself? I thought it was set up for 8 by 10 or bigger.
Yes,
And
but
then if someone calls and complains that this person's over their thing, then we would send you out for inspection.
it is to confirm the setbacks. Remember, there's a requirement that you can't be closer than 25 feet to the neighbor's principal structure. So we want to confirm that, and we're going to ask for it on paperwork, but then we want to confirm it.
To me, that's a little extreme. To me, my opinion, it's extreme. I thought this was gonna be a real simple permit. We're gonna take the honesty of these 15, up to 15, which I don't think we're gonna be even close to 10. My guess, but I could be wrong, maybe all 15 families will. I don't think we have to hold, not license, I don't think we have to charge this much for a one-time, let's see if it works. And then if we do go, and we allow more throughout the book, then we can adjust it. I think we should ask DNF, or I'm asking DNF, to kind of bring it down a little bit, make it more affordable. This is a test run. We're gonna review it in 18 months or whatever it was, and I don't think we should have to, they should have to pay over $115.
And they're in
We
essence
should
a
take their
portable
honesty,
building.
and if need be, our person could actually, I don't see things that be really involved in this.
We will do what you asked us.
Well, yeah, to me, for a first-time pilot program, to me, it's too high.
So, when you're following the ordinance,
No, I
so
know.
do you want to,
I didn't know all that was in there where we had to do all that, but I thought we could adjust that the board could overrule it on a temporary basis because this is a temporary pilot. And it will come back to us in a year and a half.
so you just want us to do the paperwork? You don't want us
Well,
to do the
I'm only one of 5,
I
so.
understand, I'm just-
I'm one of 5, but that's my recommendation, because that just seems a little steep to me for these guys to put an 8 by 8 or an 8 by 10, well, I don't
And-
know the whole thing.
Just out of curiosity, if somebody puts a dog house with a kennel in their yard, do we permit that and inspect
Yeah,
that?
2 or 3 chickens. I mean, they're allowed 6, but what if someone only has 2 chickens? Then like you said, 4 by 4 or a 2 by 4 dog house or anything for, I don't know. To me, it just seems, because just to me, it doesn't seem, for a starting pilot program, I think we should make it affordable. If anyone's gonna mess this up, it's gonna be people who do this. So it's gonna fall back on
You
them.
would think they would not do that.
You think, well, you think, but we don't know. But I think for starting out, I think we should help them, know a little bit. It was passed in planning and zoning unanimously, it was passed at the board unanimously. So I think we should help them out. Actually, if I had it my way, I wouldn't even charge them a fee because it's a pilot program. I mean, we have to have some oversight. If you get a call, there's a problem, we have to send our code enforcement out there, they get a ticket, they pay the ticket. If they're in violation, they're the one, like I said, it's up to these people to work together, communicate, and make this work for them, for the village.
So I guess I would say, it's fine, if you don't want us to go in the field, you don't need to go to that level.
Do you think it's necessary? Because you do it in a lot of other.
Well, it's a loaded question. I guess you could test it and see if there's not a problem, then.
I understand they got
Once
the
again, you can start
administration fee so we know who it is, but there's only up to 15 that's allowed to do it.
How about just an application fee to have it on
Well,
record?
that's what I was thinking, $25 just to cover the application fee and our employees' time of getting every paperwork and everything like that.
Yeah,
That I agree, $25 is fine, but to me, 100.
simple questionnaire. How many chickens?
I thought that was all 3.
No, that's, you gotta pay an administration fee, plus $94.
No,
No, that was everything combined.
Okay, still, even $94.
You think it's too high?
Yeah, I do. I do for a pilot program, absolutely. We're trying to encourage good behavior, so like I said, if anyone messes it up, it's, one person can ruin it for everyone, correct, Amy? I mean, if they got enough and there was too many complaints.
If you're charging this high of an amount, you're gonna end up with a lot more people not doing it at all.
Exactly.
Which I don't think, no, but
No.
that's what's gonna happen.
But I think for the initial application fee, it should be $25. But to me, $94.
I would just say this, when somebody applies, you would like a drawing, you're showing what.
Oh, absolutely.
You still have to do a review.
Right.
So normally, $25 is for the staff to do the paperwork for the application, and then we would do a review, our review is $25. Make sure.
So it's $50.
How is it done in other communities? I mean, I have really no idea. I mean, that was my question when I first saw the fee.
There are a lot of communities that do it at $25.
Okay, I have no idea,
There are
so.
also communities that do it where they, they require a building permit, and so then you create the inspection and those other things. If they want to put heat in it, then that's another permit for electrical. I mean, it can grow depending on what you do. If you just want to issue a permit for filtering a hen, then yes, it can be small, but in the winter, you're going to want to be able to keep that water to 23.
Wouldn't that just be the extension cord?
Because remember, extension cord is something for temporary purpose.
Right, well, it's 3 months out of the winter.
Too much amperage on a heater.
It's not,
Just like a pool.
I would not recommend it.
I thought it was just like a fish tank heater that.
No.
I don't know, I like chickens.
How big of a water bowl are we talking about for a couple of chickens?
No, but it's, I mean,
We're not talking,
if you don't maintain it, it's going to hurt.
So someone's gonna have to either take fresh water out there every day, or they're gonna have to pay. and
I
have
can
like
tell you
a-
this, if you bring fresh water out to your chickens at 8 o'clock at night,
By morning.
in
it's
the
all-
winter, it will grow.
well, what do we do with dogs? If we got a dog shed,
Hopefully people don't leave the dogs out all night.
a dog house with a fence around it, like a lot of people have.
I hope they don't leaving the dogs out when it's -20.
I didn't catch all that in the ordinance where we get to pay for,
Yeah, it was in there.
was it?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't go through it.
Well, I guess, let me ask a question. Do you want us to revise the ordinance? Because right now it states,
What do you think?
Well, do we have to revise it by once? Because if we're gonna remove can call it a hen coop permit, that's a revision that has to be made for sure.
Yeah.
So we do have that revision for
Well, we
sure.
already asked for that to be done, so if we're gonna do this, should we go through and make a list and revise the ordinance?
I just need to know what you wanted to do.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
that
I
was-
just, well, there's questions about that, I have a question about the program. This is the first time.
Well, would you still be
And
happy with
Amy
the 50?
said, we're gonna steer people away from having chickens, so going through all this.
But don't we want to make sure they're taking care of what they, I mean, what is one of those, oh, one of those scoops are
When the
expensive.
chickens are in other people's yards, we're gonna get phone calls, these guys are gonna come down and write tickets. And then that person's gonna be taken out of the pilot program, you know what I mean? After 3 or 4 violations, they're all making what's wrong.
Oh.
3 or 4?
The attorney just pointed out that the ordinance doesn't say pilot program, it just says 18 month. We all understand that was a trial.
Okay,
a
so
trial.
that needs to
But,
be
I mean,
said.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Maybe too.
What does a coop cost? I mean,
Coops can run,
They could start at 200 and go up to $2,000, depends on.
they give you $50 if you vet the
Mine
wood.
was $3.99 on Marketplace.
okay, I'm just,
That's a used one, right?
Point.
Because I said before being voted, there are actually tons of solar options.
Oh, okay.
You can buy them right on what tractors to fly in. There's heating water bills that have solar options, there's lights that have solar options, there's predator lights that have solar options, heaters that have solar options. There is self-installed panel on the top of the roof, and then they heat your water bill with solar energy.
Is there permits for solar lights?
That's the way I would go, and I would plan to go, so that you're not messing with it. That's just me.
If you went solar, I would say let me.
Okay, good. So that might be an option for everybody. What, how much water is 60?
A
Done.
lot of people do
Done.
for rodent deterrent, for including water in at night, just because then you're not increasing your odds of rodents
Right,
getting
okay.
in.
Betsy, did you have something?
I agree with Jeff, absolutely, and I think the wording for annual permit should just say trial program, whatever it says in the ordinance.
it just says 18 month program.
So the 18-month permit, then we should
Be that much.
from the village.
Right. Well, and also, if they bring in a thing, why would it have to be inspected? If we can't take the homeowner's word, then that sounds like eventually you guys will get called and you issue people a ticket, so you're paying for 2 things for not being in the property.
Use your mic.
For not being within, the setbacks and everything. I don't think you guys have to go through all that. You have to be able to trust these people to do this program. If they're gonna mess it up, they're gonna mess it up. Correct,
We're
Amy?
not looking to burn the village
Right.
down with chickens, I
No.
promise.
Right, but I'm saying, I don't think we need to have them go out and inspect the coops. We gotta take their word, we gotta trust.
Do you trust me when I remodel my bathroom?
What's that?
You trust me when I remodel my bathroom?
This is a chicken coop, this is a
I'm
chicken
just-
coop. In your backyard, it's visible to your neighbors. I can't see your backyard.
Sometimes it's visible, sometimes it's not. I mean, we
Well,
didn't
what
see
I'm
that
saying-
chicken coop over in Broad Woods until those trees were taken down by Connerino.
I didn't know that was
Yeah.
I have
Well,
David Albert.
Would you be
wants
good
to
with the
speak.
50 that would cover staff and cover their
All right.
reviews? Well, here's the way I look at it. If-
$25 just to read, then $25 to go off.
Here's the way I look at it. Well, no, you're saying 25 to review the
To
picture.
review. And then,
But here's the way, like you're just saying, I understand, like if they screwed up, they screw it up. But say you're the neighbor and it's supposed to be 25 feet from your house, and you didn't want it there, you want to make sure it's 25 feet away from your house. I'm getting that.
well,
So that-
what's the means that they can't, okay, they come out, they measure, they approve it, people move 50 feet from their house.
And then they screw it up like
And
you
they're
said.
gonna ruin it.
But then we're kind of covered, Jeff, that we went there and we advised you it needs to go here. I
We
mean,
did that, we
well,
did that
this
if they
is
drew a
discussion.
picture and said this is where they were gonna put it.
If the ordinance explicitly says and they don't follow the
And that's
ordinance,
the thing of this.
on the application, it's gonna say specifically, must be,
well, I just,
Like she said, they
if
discussed
a
it.
picture's submitted, I mean, but, I'd hate pitting neighbors against neighbors for things. It never ends well.
So it,
I
David,
think Mr. Allgood here had something to say.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know, this is a test program. How many homes in Poplar Grove?
1,800,
1,800, you're talking 15 in this test program.
if 15.
If 15 apply. I'm just saying, I think it's, you're making it way too complicated.
I think so too.
Do we have, I mean, does somebody have to apply for a permit to have a garbage can? But code enforcement goes out to make sure that they were where they're supposed to be, right? So why are you asking somebody for a coop permit when there are handfuls of things that are scattered amongst property that we don't require permits for? You know, there's just, I think it's way too overcomplicated. $25 permit to cover the administrative fees of the village, $25 permit with description or simple drawing of what the coop is going to be. They're given a set of rules. These are the rules you need to abide by. If you violate these rules, code enforcement will issue you a citation. We don't need permits for garbage cans. You don't need permits for a handful of things.
Dog
Let's
houses.
not overcomplicate it. You know, bathrooms versus chicken coops, that's like comparing apples to horses.
You said trust, I wasn't comparing.
So it's not a matter of trust. These things are out in the open where people can see them. If somebody violates the 25-foot rule, give them a citation for it. That's where you going, wow, I think I'm going to have chickens. Let's just make it simple, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
I agree.
Done.
Yes,
So,
I will make a motion that we revise the fee schedule and look to revise the original chicken ordinance as well.
The ordinance wasn't on the
Yeah,
agenda.
yeah.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
not sure we
sorry.
can, I'm not sure we can do that. Maybe we can just advise and,
We'll figure that one out then.
yeah.
send it back to the attorney for changes.
The ordinance isn't, we're not talking about the ordinance, we're just talking about the fees, so let's adjust the
So,
fees.
Yeah, we have to make a motion to,
So we'll have to put it on for next week that we want to change the ordinance.
To adjust
Yeah.
the fee schedule and the other word,
No, the fee schedule we can just do here,
part of the ordinance,
I guess. So we'll have to, why don't we
Why don't
motion
you
to
just-
postpone this till next week?
can we, a motion to postpone this till next week?
But wait, we need a discussion set the fees.
yeah,
Next week,
Yeah.
Next week.
so you can do it all at
Well,
once. You can
so
change it
we'll
right
have the agenda read that we're adjusting the ordinance and the fee schedule.
Well, we just wait till, well, it waits, but we're talking 15 minutes about it now, why not just set the fee now, let's get it
yeah.
straightened out.
It's in the ordinance, we have to change the ordinance.
Yeah, but we can
The-
change the fee now and move that
We
over and
can't,
lay it over.
the fees, we'll do it all at once.
All right, all right.
I
It's
just
not
need
on
a
the
second.
agenda, the reason we reviewed the ordinance for so, yeah, the reason we reviewed the ordinance so long was so that we could make all these changes. So that's, we have to make the changes again, so.
Okay, we have to do that next week.
All right.
Next week, sorry, got another meeting.
There's another meeting.
We don't need him here next week, we know what we
I
want,
know,
right?
but I like his input too, because he's the one that regulates it now,
Oh, oh. What other questions do you have?
Having him be okay with the fee, we all decided.
The fee's up to us. He does what we tell him to do as a vendor.
But then if he has to do and go, and he goes, that's fine.
Yes. That was the point of those, is to cover
Well,
that.
I think if they just hand in the setbacks, they're for review. I don't think it really has to go to him to review. That's where the honesty part comes in, at least 9, 10, 15 people up to.
But then you're
We're
asking,
making a big deal about it.
you're asking staff to review. Who do we want to review it? Our building department or staff? I don't care.
All they're looking at is the sheet that's submitted to them from the person who's applying for the.
Okay, and the first time staff reads it wrong, are we gonna come down on staff? I
No.
mean, Okay,
We'll have our village president over review it, look it over. It's only 15 of them possibly,
Probably.
up to.
maybe this falls under building, so they have to review it. Whatever we want to charge, we charge.
I'll go on now and inspect them.
I'll help you. I'll help you out. All right. So we're not gonna change this to $50 right
We have to change the ordinance first, so
Okay.
we moved to postpone it till next week, and we'll change them both.
now. Motion by Christie to postpone till next week. Do I have a second?
Second by Jeff.
Jeff
And a
is
second by Jeff. All right. Those in favor? Or actually, roll call vote to postpone.
No, we can do it all in favor.
Okay, those in favor to postpone.
Aye.
Aye.
Those against? All right, resolution 2024-01 is postponed till next week's
Gather
meeting.
your thoughts, email Ken, or email me, I'll get them to Ken. If you don't have Ken's email.
All right. Moving on, item number 5, do we have a motion to discuss village president / village attorney interpreters? All right.
They did that. And when we were discussing this last month, we really never really got to this. But I think it's very, very important for us to move forward as a board if we're have faith and confidence in our village attorney and how they're advising us on our meetings and how we vote. Or Don's had disagreements with them, and he submitted what he thought was right. Roxanne submitted all the stuff, and it turned out from the Public Access Board that Roxanne was right. So that's the second time that we've gotten a letter back from the Public Access Board saying that our village attorneys were correct. The first time was on the recordings and the live streams are part of the public record. They were on there.
Did you read that real clear?
I read that. Yeah, they said that they,
Did you notice that it explicitly said that what I requested has nothing to do with OMA?
Nope.
They are there to rule on OMA.
Yeah.
So Robert's Rules of Order had nothing to do with OMA.
But they-
So
but they
I
went
even
ahead and-
emailed back Josh and I asked him, and he said, yes, you would have to go to either the state's attorney or the attorney general's office to get my question answered. So he answered it from an OMA standpoint, that OMA was followed in conducting the meeting, had nothing to do with Robert's Rules of Order
Well, you have
or
co-
parliamentary procedure.
you have copied in the state's attorney, we haven't heard. So I guess it's just a matter of, and this is a census, this isn't a, we're making a solid vote.
Can I just say one thing? I think, so if we make our ordinance to say, what is the correct vote? We don't have to follow that. We can say that it's a simple or a majority. And if we say that in our rules, can't we do that, Dave? And
Yes.
say that a vote for this takes this, and then it is clear for everyone?
You are under no obligation to follow Robert's rules, except for the fact that you've gotta, it's your fallback, your default
Right.
provision. You can always make an ordinance or a procedure rule, whatever you wanna do it, that does something different than that.
So we can
Robert's rules
specify
functions in the absence
what
of.
it would be that if we deem that to put someone on P and Z could be a simple or a majority, whatever we choose, then it's in our ordinance, and we could do something like that and say, and spell it out completely, and then there's no questions.
So our ordinance is our ordinance. I mean, if you want to discuss changing it, that's different. So today, that is our
Right,
ordinance.
I'm just asking if that's a possibility.
So we can change anything that doesn't change the state statute. Absolutely.
And so maybe that's where we need to
Right.
think about going
I thought
to
that
be
was
very
state
clear.
statute, though, was the issue.
That is.
If you read case precedents by the courts, and if you read through any state statutes, there is no law that states what advice and consent is. It is what Betsy's driving at. If you want it to be different than what Robert's Rules of Order is, and Robert's Rules clearly says a simple majority of a quorum. And if you want it to be something different, your ordinance has to specify that specifically.
But it's the interpretation of that. So it's everyone has different interpretation of when this falls to this. So you interpret it as this, that it's this, and the attorney says it's this. If we don't have to have an interpretation and it's clear, then we avoid this.
Illogical.
That's my goal.
Right.
I'm asking if that would be something that we could do.
So we all have to agree on whether it's a simple majority or a super majority.
Not at this,
Well, not at this time.
not at this
Not
time.
at this time.
So
Yeah, then if we spell it out,
This is gonna go into a simple or a super.
so those apply irregardless. This is a state statute issue on the fiduciary part of what takes 4 and what takes 3, or I'm sorry, simple majority of who's present. So the question isn't that. Don has his interpretation and supplied us with all of his interpretation of the court cases, and the village attorney supplied us with everything that she supplied us with. So the question is, are we following our attorney, or are we going to continue to just argue? Christie, do you have faith in our attorney's interpretation of their job that they do 24/7, and it is all they do?
I mean, I think that have not had any that I would have disagreed with.
Okay, Dan?
I will put this in scenario form. Say I'm a millwright, putting together machinery, conveyor system, what have you in a factory. Schematics, blueprints are fuzzy. Go in the office to ask, hey, is this motor wired at 220 or triple phase? You'll get this stuff done. And in that room is Don and Roxanne. Roxanne says, no, it's 220. And Don says, no, it's triple phase. Then you guys argue back and forth, argue back and forth. I'm going to listen to the person who went to school for it and made a career out of it. So in that situation, I'm going to listen to you, Don. I'm not going to listen to the attorney. And the way I look at it, because you're educated in it, that's what you do. The attorneys are educated in it, and that's what they do. So in my eyes, that's the person I'm going to listen to, is the person who actually went to school for it.
Thank you. Jeff?
I'll go with that attorney, same question. I've had faith, I've been here 13 years, having major capacities with our attorneys, they left the village fine and my knowledge, so I would go with faith of our attorneys.
Okay, great, thank you. Betsy?
We can't
Oh, sorry.
go with the faith of our attorneys, and it's something that the board can need to discuss.
Betsy?
You can go first.
Oh, I wholeheartedly listen to the attorney. That's what she does 24/7.
And I would agree with what everybody's saying, but I still think that there's human human of the laws, and
You're correct.
that's the point. And when I had discussions, and Christy was on the call, and we had discussions with Roxanne about this scenario, I wasn't confident completely. You know, she made several comments that, well, if it wasn't, and so we were going to look at precedent, because, precedent is looked at a lot in those kinds of things. So in this instance, I've questioned it. I've
Okay.
wondered, so.
All right, so that's still, unfortunately, that's still a majority of this board has confidence in our attorney, Don. So,
Well, just one last thing. Back to the engineering question. Some things are black and white. When your ordinance specifically says, barring anything specific in her, you fall back on Robert's Rules of Order. And when Robert's Rules of Order says one thing, and then the attorney comes back and quotes a municipal law that has nothing to do with advice and consent, but it has to do with an expenditure of money and taking on a liability. That's like comparing an apple to an orange and saying, well, this is the right way. Or, no, the orange is the right way. You're going to get my argument because you haven't proven it to me, because I am very technical, and it's just simply that way. And we'll have an argument next time, Owen.
we're a majority rule. If you don't like how it turns out, you don't like the advice and consent of our lawyers, you are welcome to do the civil thing.
Your lawyer is wrong.
File a lawsuit against the village, or you took one step, you filed a complaint with the Public Access Board. You can file another complaint with the Attorney General's office. You've already copied in the state's attorney's office on most of our emails. I don't know that she took any action. So the next civil thing to do would be to file a civil suit against the village board that you disagree with the vote. That's it.
Nice. Very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, that was just for discussion.
It was just a discussion for a census.
Moving on to item number 6. Do we got a motion to discuss and approve Resolution 2024-02, a resolution of the Village of Poplar Grove appointing an individual to fill a vacancy in the Planning and Zoning Commission?
Move to approve.
Second.
We got a motion by Owen and a second by Betsy. Any comment on the 4 individuals?
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
The exact dates were, putting if you do these split people, is four seats, correct?
Yeah, if you look at the ordinance, there's exact dates in the ordinance, Jeff. It's up in front of your screen.
So everything tonight's gonna supersede all 4 of them?
No, no, it'll pick up when their terms
So it'll pick-
expire.
Okay, that's my question. It does pick up when their terms expire.
Yep.
Okay. That's my question. Just wanna make sure for my peace of mind.
I have a comment?
Yes, Owen.
So, for those of you that were on the board prior when I was going through these appointments, things are done differently on whoever sits in that chair. It's their decision. You know, early on, I'd read an email earlier, 2 months back, that, you know, Don said these would all come to the board, we'd have a discussion, and it didn't happen that way. So these are an appointment of the village president. So when I would normally do these, I would talk to each individual, I would ask, as David can contest, I would, you know, what do you like about the village? What do you don't like about the village? What would you like to see us change? And then I would share those resumes with the entire board, we'd have a discussion on it, and then we'd make the appointments. So that's just how I did it, from a team standpoint.
That's transparency. That's how it should be done.
But this is, everybody does it differently. I just wanted to, you know, I know we all just got these on Monday, or Sunday? I'm sorry, Don, Sunday. But in the lieu of these changes and going forward, things like this, we need to give staff more time to prepare these. And I would like to stress if there's some way we could get the packets on a Thursday or Friday versus a Monday, but
Give us some time to look at it.
yeah, that's all I have to say on that.
Or we could just make a motion now to amend this motion, you know, to give us time to look at these people. 'Cause I actually haven't had a lot of time to look at them.
It's moot, Jeff.
Oh, I know it's new, but it's just a point.
It's-
It's the point. This is not how we've done it in
It's-
past prior years.
I don't,
It should be fair to everyone to have time to look at it.
I don't
Just
see
like,
the,
okay, I know Amy's here. I see she's on here for appointment. I would vote for Amy. I don't know who these other people are, other than Dave. I know Dave. Dave comes in, he's informed, Amy comes in, she's informed. I have no problem voting for these people.
Kim's on there.
I understand, and
What's that?
Kim's already on P and Z.
Yeah, Kim, I don't even know Kim. So unfortunately, I'm sorry. I didn't know Kim. And I don't go to the plans, it's because it's a violation.
I empathize, I understand with you. It's
Yeah,
just,
it's just frustrating.
it's just no reason that, there are many things in my industry that frustrate me, I can't change. I just don't see a reason to belliger the point, you know, if you want.
I don't even know who they are. Well, I'm sorry, I don't know you. I would take the time to reach out for you, just like I did with the other gentleman, you know, the bike. I never got a call back. I was here the last 2 meetings, no, okay, you did my vote. I would take time to call you, hey, I go with you. What's your thoughts on the Village Road DXC change? Things like that, try to get to know you, because I don't attend the plans on the meetings. You know what I mean? It's no disrespect to you, but like I said, I know Dave and I know Amy. They come here all the time. They're well informed of what's going on, what's happening in the village on a monthly basis.
I guess if you want to make a motion to amend and approve those and then lay the other 2 over till next week to give you time, I'm okay with that, the rest of the board is.
Well, the board, it's not just you or me.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I mean, if you want to approve them so we can get those done.
Nancy, Dan, do you know Melissa?
No, I did graze over,
But I
glance
looked,
over.
I looked all
I mean,
the
so we get
all
those-
the paperwork
Do you
though.
know?
I'm sorry,
I looked
Kristen.
all the, oh yeah, I've looked at all the paperwork.
Yeah, I've looked at all the resumes too, everybody on theirs, I think will do a fine job.
Let's do it then.
Okay.
I just think for future, let me finish on, we should have more transparency next time,
Agreed.
for sure, but this should pretty much fill us up for the next.
Yep, then we won't have to talk about this again. All right?
Yes, yes, go ahead, Dave.
Thank you, Mr. President. Oops, am I on here? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I just want to make sure that with regards to Kim Krawczyk's reappointment on this, her term doesn't expire until April 30th of 2025.
Oh,
Okay? So that would have to, and the concern would be that the election would take place in 2025 for for the municipalities, including the village president. So if you did this now with her and the swearing in of new village trustees and officers, the village president, took place prior to May 1, 2025, it would actually be an improper appointment because the appointment would actually take place after the term of the village president. Trustees and officers who were elected at that time be sworn in after